It used to be if you wanted a 200-mile-per-hour Cadillac, you had to fill the trunk with dead mobsters and throw it off a cliff. But not anymore. This is the 2016 Cadillac CTS-V, and yes, it is the first Cadillac to break 200 right from the factory. But as it turns out, that's the least interesting thing about it. You see, Cadillac's latest CTS-V is such a leap from the previous version, such an outright better high-performance sedan, that you're just left shaking your head and mumbling until someone helps you into a chair and cleans up the drool and tells you to get back out there. The point is, Cadillac hasn't eliminated the Germans altogether, but it has done something perhaps more unlikely. It's validated the American approach.
The first thing you notice with the new CTS-V is that warm chocolate pudding American V8 cam and block supercharged feel to it. It's like warm soup going through you.
Yes, the CTS-V is a bit flashy, and some may say that supercharged Corvette engine has too few camshafts, but toss it into a corner and something kind of amusing happens. It turns, and then when you unwind it and mat the pedal, it just freaking leaps off a corner. It's as if someone actually cared about making these things work together.
Except then we talk about the transmission, because this car is actually better if you use it in automatic mode. It does a much, much better job than any transmission that General Motors has done before at predicting where you want that shift to be and what you want it to be. The steering really feels good. I mean, this is the Servotronic EPS that BMW uses in the M3 and M5. So it's, you know, as these systems go, this is the best one, and between this, the e-diff, and all the bolstering and shear panels and bracing that they've done to really tighten this up, it's really a fun car just to toss around.
Cadillac has been building some very interesting stuff lately. The compact ATS-V is the most engaging car to drive in a very competitive category. And now, they've done the same with their 4,200-pound original gangster. A fast car that's this massive can heat a small city with all the kinetic energy it converts, drawing down from the front straight at Road America into Turn 1. Cadillac engineers are getting around that by using simply massive heat-wicking rotors and Brembo calipers as big as the Thing's stone fists, but no carbon ceramic option. That's probably no hardship for most buyers, unless they live on bragging rights. The optional Recaro seats are snug and supportive, and yes, I'm a sucker for the optional Alcantara steering wheel. But if I'm being honest, the overall design is a bit much. Still, it's all much better quality than Cadillacs in the past, and if they need to go through this variegated design period to come out on the other side with even better looking stuff, then, to use the future perfect tense, it will have been worth it. Since this was mostly a track day, I did play around with all the performance traction management modes, and they do work better than most other stability systems that monitor and control slip angle. Set it in the middle and you can kind of just mat the pedal and steer. Just like the Corvette Z06, the CTS-V comes with the Performance Data Recorder by Cosworth, so you can video record and overlay your track day stats, while everyone else at the firm is taking golf lessons. I didn't really use the often criticized Q system much, but the faster data bus on these new models means less hang-ups, and let's face it, the Q interface lives and dies on how quickly it reacts to commands. Fix that, and you'll get rid of all the other problems.
I am really surprised at how Cadillac's been able to level up this car since the last CTS-V. The last CTS-V, compared to this, was such a crude instrument. This one takes that and goes into the stratosphere with it. This is a very, very competitive car. Look at that, 152, probably could have done more. I mean, with ease.
I think what's behind the CTS-V's X-Factor handling is the human touch. No, not the Human Torch, although he may have built the engine, with a massive 640 horsepower and 630 pounds-feet. I mean the human touch, the people in charge of tuning and calibration who seem to have mastered that rare instinct for tweaking vehicle dynamics. Because, like other cars in its segment, the CTS-V has all the same data-heavy hardware. The Servotronic 2 electronic steering, those magnetically adjustable dampers, and that e-diff that can curl this 9.5-foot wheelbase around a corner like a robotic hand. All of that is just spaghetti and meatballs, unless human beings with sensitivity to high-performance driving can assemble everything into a cohesive dynamic machine. And that's exactly what they've done here.
They're not kidding around with this one. They're not leaving anything off the table with this car. Between the grip and the steering and the rotation with the diff. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Whoever thought a car this big would be so playful? It's a real contrast to the competition, which sometimes seems a bit unsmiling.
You know, as the Germans know, it's hard to get a car to be really tight and on point when it's this big and heavy.
If the last CTS-V was an anti-hero, this one is a more heroic sequel. And yet, because of who it is, the new CTS-V retains a bit of that counterculture too.
Cadillac, you have really created a new American sports sedan ethos, and I like it. I really do like it.
I love German cars, I probably always will, but at the risk of waking up in the trunk of a BMW M5 with the German version of Joe Pesci standing over me with a machete, at least one ultimate driving machine just doesn't seem quite as ultimate anymore.